Hi everyone, my name is Sue McLeod and I live in the Pacific Northwest in a little town of Aurora, Oregon. And I'm so happy to be here today with you at the virtual crop. And I'm going to show you my take on sketch challenge number 4. I'm using a brand new paper collection called Snowbound. It has designer papers and stickers and layer embellishments, and it's got some gorgeous blues and green colors in it. It also has a new punch called the Snowflakes border frame punch. Very fun. My layout is fairly simple. I have this element is a border cut out of white cardstock with the snowflake punch. I have a mat, 4.5 by 12 inch mat out of designer paper. I have the embellishments. And then I have my journaling circle. I started out, I chose 2 pieces of designer paper, one for the base and one for the mat. And I used my 12-inch trimmer to trim my mat and the snowflake border punch. If you haven't used one before, it's quite easy. It has these 2 lines here where you start punching. You can start from either side. You line up your paper on that line, push it to the back here, and punch. Line up your pattern here, punch. Line it up again. You can see how really easy they are. I really love the snowflakes. Now some of the borders, and you also get these little bonus embellishments from the snowflakes. Now, some of the borders are what they call a chain, which is that they fall off the paper, so you end up with just the border. This one is a little different in that it is part of the paper, so then you come back take your trimmer and you trim it to whatever you would like. Now you could use this for a mat, which would be gorgeous. Put your photos in here. But I'm going to trim it, use it as a border, and I'm going to come up to right about here. Just kind of line it up right here. And trim. And that's how you make that snowflake border. Pretty simple. The next part that I'm going to do is my journaling circle. And I'm going to take a piece of white lined paper and I'm going to use the jumbo circle from the custom cutting system. To cut this circle here, I'm going to use the inside track and my blue blade. You take these little pins, you line them up in the track, and then you just cut around. And you end up with a nice circle. And I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock and my jumbo circle. This time I'm going to use my red blade on the outside track. Put the little pins in and around. Let's go all the way around. And you end up with a circle like this. Now you can see what's coming next. I've already kind of started punching the snowflake border. And so you take your punch, you turn it over so you can see. And I'm going to line up right where you can see where this punch is here. You're going to line up so you can just see that little punch. And you want to make sure that your arc also is even against on this side and this side. So you line that up, punch, and you just do that all the way around. Line up so you can see where the other punch was. I'll just move it till it's just right on the edge of that, make my arc even, and punch. And you're going to end up with about, once you go all the way around, you're going to end up with about a inch and a quarter or so little tab here. Now that we have our snowflake circle and we have our lined paper circle, we're going to take those and we're going to adhere the lined circle onto the snowflake borders. And these little circles make it quite easy to line it up and make it all centered. And then what we're going to do, if you've noticed, this is where the tab was. So I'm just putting that on the piece that I'm not going to use. Then you take this and you cut it in half at about 7 inches. Now we have all of our elements created, we can put them all together. Put down your base paper. We'll put down our journaling circle, our mat, our border, our pictures, embellishments, and there you go. Another thing that you can do is if you choose a darker piece of paper, you can take a piece of matching designer paper or cardstock, and this border that we punched with our snowflake border, you can just adhere it on the back with your repositional tape runner to get in these small areas where you can't get a regular tape runner. And you place it just so it just shadows the edge there. And then on that darker background, that really pops. So I thank you so much. I love these virtual crops. They're just so much fun and a great way to connect. Thanks and have a great time.